Welcome to the Mass Production Band Talkcast. We want to thank everybody for joining us. So, go get chilled on whatever it is that you get chilled on. Sit back, listen, and enjoy because we are fired up and ready to go. Thank you. I'm only messing with you, Lee.
Size or age. I'll be 62 in July.
No, your birthday is in July?
Mm-hmm.
Your birthday is in July?
July 22nd.
Oh,
you're on the cusp.
I'm into Cancer.
Yeah. You're in Cancer. My brother's birthday. That's my brother's birthday, my oldest brother's birthday.
Right.
July the 22nd.
I'll be 62. I already applied for my Social Security, so they said I get the first check in September.
Well, congratulations.
I've been waiting. I had retired in 2009, so I was too young to get, and I get my pensions too. So I said, I survived.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You set yourself up nicely.
They say you should, huh?
I don't want to get in no trouble, and I hope you mind my saying it, but you wear it very well.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely,
yes.
Sure.
Thank
ding,
you.
ding, 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 ding.
And I'm like the baby of the era that I represent, you know?
Right.
Like one of the younger ones, because everybody else is 10, 12, 15 years older than me.
Older, right.
I got married at 19, and my husband was 30, and he was the then band leader.
Oh, my goodness.
For Blue Magic, right?
Oh.
So everybody was always 10, 12 years older than me.
Yeah.
Magic, they were 30, 31. I was 19.
Wow.
Then he became the drummer of the Stylistics from like 81 to 83. And they were the same age. Matter of fact, they all grew up in Philly together. They went to the same high school, you know, so they were all still another 10, 12 years older. So I would just been with older people. Now I feel like I'm from like I was born in the 50s as opposed to 61.
Right.
Like I was born in 51 because that's the era. I love the era I'm around. The people I'm around are that age. So, but I'm the baby of it. I always think I'm older than everybody. And I'm like, and I'm not.
Wow.
Now this was our last Black Tie Gala and Award ceremony. We honored Kenny Burke, you know, from the 5 Stair Steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the stair steps rising to the top? He was solo.
He was also a neighbor.
Sampled songs.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the and you have that coming up in September.
In September.
I had mentioned that. That's September
24.
Right.
Yes, Atlantic City at the Claridge. We're honoring Evelyn Champagne King, Glenn Jones, Miles Davis, Houdini, Patrick. We paying a tribute to Patrick.
Beautiful.
BB&Q Band, and Audrey Wheeler.
We just played with BBQ, didn't we, in California?
Kevin Robinson?
No, Lee, I don't think so.
It was.
So I thought we did Long Branch with them.
No.
BBQ.
No, that was the other band, Lee. That was what's his name? Out of Detroit.
Who?
Maybe Lico was the one that was 25 years old.
Fatback band. It was the Fatback.
Oh, he was with the Fatback.
Fatback. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Barbecue and BBQ and Fatback sounds all good eating to me.
It's very greasy. A lot of grease.
Barbecue.
I'm
The
gonna get
Fatback
something.
barbecue tour.
I'm gonna go get something to show you. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, boy. That's beautiful.
Yeah, Lee, you heard me. Maybe you the one 25 years older.
Well, I'm 20. I'm 25 now.
Did we play with the BBQ? The hot wings. What's it? The hot wings?
The hot wings. Yeah, boneless.
Wow.
Boneless hot wings.
Boneless.
So Vannessa, so
funny.
the job you so the job that you have sounds like it's quite challenging. So I mean, how much time does it take of your
Larry, we
personal
looking
time?
at the album she's showing us.
Oh, well, I'm on another screen.
Oh yeah, get with it. Yeah,
So take Lee off and put her back on. I'm just messing.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
thank
You
you.
got that,
Please.
and
Yeah, I'm just
thank you.
playing.
We appreciate you having that. Thanking you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is the original pressing.
Oh,
Right.
Oh
wow.
my goodness. Where'd you get that?
Well, had it. Already had it.
Already had it.
Wow.
Yeah, because she
Yeah,
she
I
said she was
have,
into vinyl.
I
She
have
likes
about
vinyl.
1,000 LPs just in my bedroom.
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine. Wow. Well, how many?
1,000,
Okay.
over 1,000 in my. I took my
Wow.
nightstand. I got rid of the nightstand and made that a 4 cubby storage album, vinyl storage.
Wow.
So each one holds 80. So that's 80, 160, 2,400, 3,200. So 4 cube holds 3,200. Then my fax machine stand is a 3 cube. It's a long one. It's a
Wow.
3 cube.
Beautiful.
And then I have the music station in there that has 100 in each one. That's the one I have the professional
You are a historian.
professional turntable. But
If I could take,
I have 6 record players, but they're like a Coca-Cola one. They're portable. The other portable, I have a real professional one. But
Right.
oh, as a matter of fact, I have a stand-up one that's stands up and goes around this way.
Wow.
Wow.
Ooh.
Seen it.
I have one that looks like a treasure chest, and then I have a
See how
Coca-Cola.
the physics works out with that one. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Wow. So you
my
have some unique.
kids,
You serious about your vinyl? You serious about
yeah.
it? That's what that is.
Yes, I have like collections. The
Wow.
Wind and Fire, the Isley Brothers, Commodores. I mean, I just have the first of all, Stewart. During the shutdown is when I started really buying stuff I didn't have, right? During the pandemic. And Stewart went to the storage. It was like Christmas. He had 8 crates of albums from the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
Wow.
And within like 3 weeks, I cleaned and re-sleeved, outer sleeves, inner sleeves. I cleaned up like 600 albums. I was like a kid in a candy store.
okay.
I was like, oh my
Wow.
goodness. And the whole Funkadelic collection, I was like,
Yeah. Gotta have the delics. Wow. I know those albums. Love You.
yeah. So then I started buying what he didn't have. And then I have like a collection of the soundtracks. I have the soundtracks. It's like, forget about it. All the way from
Ooh.
She's Got a Hand
Butters.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Of course, the Superfly, Black Caesar, those soundtracks, and Claudine.
Wonderful.
And,
Yeah, those were the good old days. Those were the really
yeah.
good old days, man. That's when music was so prominent, especially Black music during that time. We reigned as kings and queens of that whole thing. Now you can't find it. Cannot find soundtrack.
It's like treasure.
It's like true.
Find
Definitely.
something good. The 70s produced more gold and platinum albums than any other decades, and it was any other decade, and it was strictly because of the era of music that was being produced.
Right.
It was so diverse. We had diversity in music. I mean, we could listen to Carpenters, to Chicago,
Right.
to
Right.
Earth, Wind and Fire, the Stylistics, the Shy-Lights, the Dramatics. But then you could put, Carole King, Tapestry album.
Yes.
Steely Dan.
Yeah. I love Steely Dan.
That's right. That's Asia. I have two Asia.
Asia, exactly. All of that stuff, man.
Albums. Forget about it.
Ooh.
Do you have School Days by Steely Dan?
No, not in vinyl.
Okay.
No, not in vinyl.
School Days. That was their first one.
Yeah.
You mentioned people that a lot of folks, a lot of us having those conversations would mention. Chicago, a lot,
I love Chicago.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Sweat and Tears.
I love Yes. I mean, I love
Yes.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. All of those people.
Wait a minute. Oh, you're gonna make me go pull out some albums. Yes, albums are like this deep, like this. And the Funkadelic is like this, Parliament Funkadelic. And then the Beatles.
The Beatles.
You can't beat them.
That was such a great era, such a great time in music, man.
We had bands, we had vocal groups, we had solo artists, we had the pop that we listened to. It wasn't you know, music, great music. You know, music is the universal language. You know,
Yes.
it brings people together. You might come
Yes.
to a stadium and the people you with all different backgrounds and
Yes.
personalities
Yes.
and racial makeup, and everybody's swaying to one. And one, then when they leave out, they, you know, go start hating
Go
each
the
other.
separate way. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Music brings people together.
It's a great unifier. You're right. It's a great unifier. It's always been like that. The great
War,
unifier.
music soothes my soul. War, all day
Yes.
music. That's what I play all day is
There
music.
you go, mention it. Yeah,
Definitely.
and if you're a music lover, I think you approach it like you were saying. You just don't say, "Well, I like jazz." What you do? I like R&B. You like music,
I love
Music.
I love great music. Yeah,
right?
we talk about. Look what I have on. Look what I have on my wall over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's that? Hendrix?
Oh, Charlie Parker,
Charlie
Parker
Parker
Jimmy.
next to
and
Prince.
Prince.
That's
Yeah.
Jimmy. What-
Jimmy.
That's
That's
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Look
no, it
like
looked like
back
Prince.
then.
Oh,
Yes, that's
yeah.
Jimmy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Prince
That's
was
my
like
boy.
Prince
That's my
looked
boy.
like Jimmy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Prince looked like Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But
So
Vannessa, do
Huh?
you have any Gino Vanelli?
Gino's the man. I'll be right back.
You done ran
yeah.
into-
See?
She's going to get evidence now. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Our time is good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
that album that's up there that I know that album.
You talking about the one at the top?
Yeah,
That's the
That's-
one with Black
that's
Eyed.
Black
Black
Ivory,
Ivory.
right?
That's
That's
Black
Black
Eyed. Yeah.
Ivory,
That
right?
Buddha records?
Yeah, it
Was
looked like
that Buddha?
Yeah, Buddha. That's Buddha.
Because
I
they
could
were
tell by
on
the
Buddha
color.
at one time.
Yeah. Now that is Buddha. I could tell by the color. That color they had that sort of like that color in the
Yeah.
back. Not red, but almost like a burnt orange or whatever. You know?
Mhm.
Wow.
That was before my time.
Please. Yeah, right before your time.
Mhm.
That's before your time. Yeah, but she's done a really great job. I mean, just starting that out by herself, and,
Yeah, it is,
and like
man.
you said, doing
And
90%
it
of the work. She
needs to have
right
a
now.
lot more visibility.
Wow. Yeah,
That
definitely.
that's the piece. How do we help her become exposed?
Yeah, I think she's if you look go on the website and all of the things that's being doing and all of the artists that are members like us, I think that they're getting a lot of exposure from where she started to where she's at now, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the thing we can definitely talk up our piece of it. Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Well, it's going to happen on our side, but I really want her to, how can we help all of our constituents and everybody that we come in contact with moving forward? What would be our
Right.
takeaway from today?
Okay, my stuff is out of order. So I'll be in there looking for days, but look who's this?
Mandrills.
Mandrill.
Oh, yeah.
Mandrill.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you
man.
go.
Mandrills. There you go. That's it. Ooh, shake some
Hey,
booty. Get up.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shake
Mandrills.
some
Love
booty.
them.
The Wilson brothers.
Oh yeah, you got them, child. You got them, girl.
I have two of them. I have two of them.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
That's the man.
In fact,
Mandrill is so underrated to me. They were bad.
The Wilson brothers,
really,
The Wilson,
they influenced me a
definitely
lot.
were.
my friend
Definitely.
They were
Yeah.
one
I
of the
didn't know-
first groups that Miles.
Miles
With-
Davis. Oh, Bridget.
Miles, Jeff. Was that
Bitches
Bitches Brew?
Brew. Yeah.
Yes.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the color of Bitches Brew. I have the print. Now this was inspired from a print, right? That looks like this. I have the print in my bedroom. It's one. They made
One great.
print
Okay.
to the front. The
Oh.
print was first.
Mhm.
I used
Right.
to think this was first, and then they made the print. No, they
Right.
made this cover in the back from the print, and it looks just like this on my wall.
Looks like that.
Doesn't
Wow.
have
Wow.
this on it.
That's
Like-
what covers. The cover art back in those days were awesome.
Yeah.
They were.
That's what I miss about albums.
You can't miss the
great.
cover art.
Yeah.
It's so great getting the albums because it's like
Yes.
art.
Right.
It's a collector
Right.
piece.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true,
you're right.
true. And I remember back in the day on Saturdays, that would be an experience going to the record
Yeah.
stores
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
going through all the records, just reading like
Yep.
the information and
The
the
credits.
bios and
Credits
everything.
and
That was so
everything.
entertaining, man.
It
So
was.
when
It was
yeah,
absolutely.
when they got rid of those record stores, man, that took a big chunk out of like, just
The whole experience of buying an
the whole
album or
experience. Yeah,
enjoying the
definitely.
music.
So
Yeah.
what I started
Yeah.
doing now, because I have so many vinyl albums, I started
Yeah.
doing a collection of colored ones, the color ones. So I have duplicates, but one in color like this one.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, right, true.
Green's
Yeah, the
number
color
one,
ones.
Greens. Okay.
right?
And that's Motown. Didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah, that was a special edition one.
Yeah, these are new, these are out now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Bruno
Okay.
Mars.
Oh, Bruno.
Wow.
Okay.
It's gold. It's changing the color on here, but it's gold.
Right.
Okay.
So I
That's
started buying
fire.
color albums now. Because you run out of stuff. So this bird, look. It's
Wow,
really
look
pretty.
at that.
It looks purple.
Wow.
That's Bird and Dizzy.
Bird and Dizzy. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Right. And this is my girl, one of my favorite artists.
Oh.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, Barbara.
That's what
Funny
I'm saying.
girl.
Yeah,
Funny
go.
girl, yeah.
Okay. Right.
I love all different kinds. Oh, Andra Day.
Yeah, Bofield.
No,
No. No,
it's
that's
Andra Day. This is from
Yeah.
the Billie Holiday.
Oh.
Who's that?
Andra Day, a new girl. She's all that.
Oh, I thought she looked like Angela Bofield.
She did the United States versus Billie Holiday movie.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome. She is awesome. You want to talk about some good music?
Right.
Andra Day.
So what you're saying now, vinyl is really, really on the resurgence coming back.
Vinyl outsold CDs last year.
So I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Really.
So
yeah, that's great.
So they look at my guys.
Al Green.
Grits green.
Yeah.
That's grits.
Oh.
Oh, Steely Dan.
Really?
Yeah.
Asian. Yeah.
Great album, yeah.
And then
Way back in 77.
Al
Oh,
Jarreau.
Jarreau.
Yeah,
I'll
Lost
go out
Country.
to the man, right? He the man.
Yeah, he was fired too.
Yeah. But I mean, I get lost in music. I'll talk to somebody for about 4 hours.
No, I
Start
can
talking,
see.
you know what I mean? Pull stuff. That's why I don't have things in order now. I have them in alphabetical order depending. I have the funk section, bands. I have a jazz section. I have just the Jacksons. Of course, I have about 15 of Jermaine Jackson albums, but I have all the Jacksons, Jackson 5 Jackson, and then Michael's, and then I have Rebbie Jackson, Jackie Jackson's album. People don't even know Jackie made an album.
So what about Millie? You got Millie up in there?
I got a Millie. I got 2 Millies. I have 2 Millies. Grandma sitting on the toilet.
Not Millie, oh boy.
Yeah, you got the Millie Jacksons up around there.
Yeah,
You got the Freddie Jacksons. You got the
Freddie. Who else? Solo guys.
Jesse, you got Jesse.
Who?
Jesse Jackson. He got a couple of albums, don't he?
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, Jesse.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
That's called spoken. Spoken word.
Now, Jesse been sampled at least 1,000 times. I know that for sure.
Oh, Stevie. I have Stevie's collection. When I say collection, I mean from 60s up through 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, all the way through the 80s. The whole collection through the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, people, they always said, that we reminded them of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Similar sounds and the whole style and the whole nine. So
you know what? I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, but I know good music,
Yeah, right. You got a good ear.
Yeah.
You don't have a good voice, but you got a good ear, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I know from the first notes if it's a good song or not.
Yeah.
And before I when my, met my musician husband, the first one, I was married to my first husband. I was into the lyrics of songs. Strictly, I was, you hear the beat there, but I wasn't into the music part. So I was really into the lyrics. So I was big into Blue Magic, the stylist, the vocals, right? And then marrying a musician, I realized I like the music
Just as much, yes.
just as much as the first couple of notes don't hit me. I know I'm not gonna like the song.
Right.
I don't care what the lyrics are saying.
Correct.
So did you ever think about going to the A&R department of a
Record company.
music company?
Well, it would be good if it was like back in the day. If it was like back in the day.
That's what I mean.
I used to do promotions. I used to promote, right? Back in the day. I did promotions. I
can see that, definitely.
I brought Aaliyah, Biggie, H-Town.
Okay, you go.
It's the 90s. It was back in the 90s, right?
Right.
And so I would bring them to Atlantic City. And, promoting is a feast of family, business.
Yes.
You have to have deep pockets to keep.
Yes.
Because, you profit 10, lose 50, it didn't add up.
Everything.
And you have to have deep pockets to promote, to be into promotions, because you have to sell these tickets. You have to be able to spend money to promote the show, because Michael Jackson can come back from the dead and be at Madison Square Garden. If nobody knows he's going to be there, there's nobody showing up.
Nobody's showing up, exactly.
Today, it costs so much money to do promotion for people. So you have to have deep pockets. That's why those Live Nation and all the people, they have deep pockets that they can really get the people that's going to sell out shows,
Right.
Other than I had to get out. I said, oh no, I went the other way. We started the organization, which is nonprofit, so we're able to get grants to produce shows for.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always said
that's a good thing, because you're dealing with the history of it, and you're keeping, Black music alive.
Yes,
to me, that's more important than just, being a fad or just being a Johnny come lately or whatever, what I mean? Because what you're doing is like eternal. And once we're gone, this stuff is still going to be around.
Oh, and let me tell you, I'm an editor on Wikipedia. And during the shutdown, I created over 50 pages and edited over 100. 140. So I was like, what? They don't have a page. So I started making pages for Marshall Thompson. Didn't have a page. So I made his page. I mean, the Shotlights had a page, but he had such a history, right?
Right.
And Shelley Clark from the Honeycomb, she didn't have a page. And Shelley was on Broadway, her and her brother, when they were 6 and 7. With Bailey and Diane Carroll. So I mean, she had a history way before before Honeycomb. Who made One Young Man Single and Free. She's married to Verdine White from Earth, Wind and Fire. So,
is she?
Yeah, they married like 40-something years. Yeah.
What? Okay.
And she didn't have a page, so I made her page. And Verdine White's page, as much as Verdine did, his page only had like a couple of paragraphs. So I expanded it, and I put all his awards, or his RIA awards, all his not just like RIA awards, and then all of his awards, like the inductions and Walk of Fame, Hollywood Walk of Fame, honors, presidential honors, and stuff like that. I really, I expanded. Like I said, I edited over 100. I had time on my hand, right? So there's people that don't even know I did their pages, because I don't say because
that's funny. That's funny. They don't even know that's great.
They're not a promotional page. So people, if they know you're doing it, they say, "Oh, say that." I said, "I can't." No. If you have to be able to source what you say too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can know you all are with mass production, but I need a third party source to source. Right. You understand?
Right.
So
definitely.
Those numbers you see are like you might see if you go on Wikipedia 2, 5, 10, 25. Right. There's little numbers, and if you click on that number, that's the source to which you got the information. It has to be third party. You can't be a Facebook page. People's like, oh no, so use my Facebook page. No, can't have anything to do with you. You
Right.
tell me
Yeah.
what you need me to know, and I'll go
Right.
search, research and try to find a source. And if I can't source it, I can't put it. But
Sure.
it's not a promotional page, and people tend to think because you're doing it and they know you that, oh, well, say this, and you're not supposed to put fluff words. Oh, they were extraordinary. It's supposed to be a dictionary online with factual.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Vanessa, what is your method to putting a show together? Where do you pull from? How do you say, well, X, Y, and Z would be ideal for a show? What's your thought pattern?
My first show that I had this year, let me tell you, a lot of promoters seem to not do all women shows because women are the ones that buy tickets. They want to see guys.
Right. True.
So my first in last year and the year before last, the first one, I put mainly all women. So because I'm not selling tickets, right? These are free concerts. So I have to I could use the money and put these people on. So we're not trying to sell tickets.
Got a little leeway.
It's sad. Women come mainly to shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they bring
Really?
them.
Okay.
They bring
And
them.
they bring their
come with
husbands.
a group of girls.
Right.
They don't tend to. They want to see men too. Eye candy or men. The groups they grew up listening to. But really, the '70s were mainly a lot of men. But they said, "Oh, you do a lot of women." Well, it wasn't that many women in that era.
Right.
You had the groups. You had First Choice, the Honeycomb. Right. You had Evelyn Champagne King.
Right.
Like that. So my first show this year, I had on it Allison Williams, Melissa Morgan, Gene Kahn, First Choice, right? GQ, Raheem was the token guy.
Right.
He was on the show too. But so that was that thought. So I'm going back to your question. I said, I want to put some women together, and do like a show with the women to answer your question. So that was my thought for that show. Then I try to do like a classic soul show, vocal groups. So then that, then it's like who's together. Then I like to do some bands. Now, I always like to have a band, and when we had a bigger budget, like we had Funkadelic, we had George Clinton, and 2012, that was massive. People were camped out like 4 days before.
Right, can imagine.
Because they have like a cult following.
Yeah,
Right.
they do.
This was free.
Right.
So we had them and the Whispers on one show, and that was so huge. It was huge, right? People were like all over the place. But okay, but I want to talk
like Larry said, maybe our next
about the funding.
Cool.
Okay.
Like when we get off, whoever I'm gonna talk to, who needs.
You're gonna
Okay.
talk to Kai.
Okay.
Okay, then.
All right. Take care. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
It's been great.
Thank
Great.
you so much.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So I would think everybody could hear me that time.